AM 560, The Answer.
So I'll tell you one thing. There is nobody in this country who got rich on their own. Nobody. Here's how I see it.
You didn't. She made a $4 million flipping houses after the banking collapse. Bribed! She represented Visa. She represented MasterCard. The whole time she said she's an Indian. She's as white as Ed Burke's ass.
If you had a good idea, you worked hard, you made it big, good for you. But I want to be clear. You moved your goods to market on roads that all of us paid for. You hired workers that all of us paid for.
Now make it rain, Indian!
To educate. You were safe in your office building or your factory because of police forces and firefighters all of us paid for. So yeah, you
didn't pay for jack, you fraud.
Started a company that's done terrific. God bless, keep a big hunk of it. But you'll also have to chip in so that the next kid gets a
Not chipping in for you, Pocahontas.
chance to succeed just like you did. And I'm not asking for much. All I'm saying is that it's not fair for a Boston public school.
Fair? How many jobs you get saying you were an Indian with your white ass? Like the Dutch boy, Chuck Connors. How many jobs? How many scholarships? How much money did you raise? You were the cowboy that shot the Indian.
School teacher to pay a higher tax rate than Jeff Bezos. So here's my idea.
Jeff Bezos made how many people millionaires? You just stole from the people, and you still steal. How much money did you and your husband make flipping houses? See, she did that same thing like little Dick Durbin. They put the money in the spouse's name. Like Bernie Sanders and his wife, the portly one, who perpetrates bank fraud and gets let out because her husband's a senator.
Instead of giving the top 1% of Americans a big fat tax handout, we should make sure those people pay their fair share and then...
I think we should make sure Congress people pay their fair share. We're taking all the money! All that money is you insider trade. You too. Republicans, we're going after you too. Mark, Oak Lawn.
Sean, I tell you, your impersonation is awesome. You had me laughing just listening to you. But
yeah.
I'm going to tell you, Gavin...
She's a real tonto. Yeah.
Gavin Newsom, I mean, his whole global warming, if that's the next, all these illegal wars that we've gotten into, Vietnam and Iraq and all this stuff, we could have built such a strong infrastructure with that money for our country. But now we've lost that, but now they're going to try to do the same thing with global warming. They're going to try to steal the money and just keep it for themselves. And it's just a way to launder money.
Hey. You know what else we could have built a strong infrastructure with? The money we actually spent on building an infrastructure that was stolen and ends up at Gibson's in some waitress's pocket as the guy who pretended to build curbs never went to work. Could have done that with the actual money. They don't look at the actual money that we're already getting robbed from. It's insanity.
John, it's hard to believe that Gavin Newsom actually thinks he can become president. Boy, if he becomes president, we're doomed because the people are just
what makes you think he can't? I just want to remind you.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
No, you weren't.
Traveling with him.
You liar! You absolute fraud! We have evidence after evidence that he had soiled his trousers that minute. Until he went on stage and actually vomited in front of the world, they were going to run that stupid son of a dog for another 4 years. And he would have got in. And the reason is the welfare roaches and the crooked contractors, they just want a stooge. And that's all any Democrat is, a stooge. Yeah. That's our problem. Yeah.
John, Kamala Harris says that Joe Biden... He was competent. He had nothing wrong with him. He could have become the next president.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
She also faked orgasms with Willie Brown. That broad will do anything for power and money. That's the real joke of it. And no matter what, you can't insult them. They got the evidence.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women.
I'm going to be the next presidential nominee. Poor Willie Brown's wife sitting at home with popcorn and big swollen ankles.